The lights were out, they were using generators. They had actually broken into the other apartments and were going into them.
A quiet Thursday morning turned chaotic for people living at the Madison Heights apartment complex when police swarmed the property to move at least 14 people allegedly squatting, living illegally in multiple units. Mike Rogers spoke with people who have been living next to what they describe as nightmares since at least late May, Mike?
Yeah, that's right, Bob. Neighbors next to those units at the Madison Heights apartment complex say they were dealing with this suspicious activity for months. Everything from fights to drugs to loose dogs. But this week, police and property management stepped in, bringing an end to what one mother said was becoming an unsafe situation. Just after 8:30 Thursday morning, Little Rock police flooded the Madison Heights apartments, pulling 14 people from abandoned units that had become a nuisance to the community.
I thought that it was just supposed to be that one apartment, but they ended up taking over literally all 4 of them.
Kennedy Lindsay has been living at the complex for a year and a half. She says she started noticing the trouble back in May, with strangers moving in and out, cars coming through at all hours of the night, and pit bulls roaming loose between buildings.
They had the lights were out, they were using generators. Their dogs would come over and defecate on my porch.
Lindsay says the group brought in trash, trailers, and even bonfires at night, and says she witnessed drug use and frequent fights outside the units. Now here in the back half of the Madison Heights apartment complex, you can actually see and smell the remnants from those 14 homeless individuals who were evicted from the property. Not only does the parking lot reek of urine in spots, but you can see what was left behind. Loose liquor bottles, shaving equipment, broken liquor bottles, and more. These residents just saying that they are happy that the problem has now been eradicated. Dexter Brady with the Property Management Office of the complex says the issues were discovered through their regular maintenance checks, and once they confirmed the units were being illegally occupied, police were called in.
Like, they would sit in the parking lot and have 3 barbecue grills going with no meat on them. Like, what are y'all burning up out here?
For Lindsay, it's now the first time in months she says she no longer feels like a prisoner in her own home.
This has been the first peaceful day we've had without hearing yelling, dogs barking.
Little Rock police say of those 14 people who were removed from the property, 1 had an outstanding warrant, but all were told not to return or they'd be facing trespassing charges. In studio, Mike Rogers, KARK News.